I'm Anthony. And there's only one thing I like more than fishing, and that's catching. Welcome to OC Outdoorsman. Look at that. Look at that ling. Oh,
it's so
huge. Welcome back to OC Outdoorsman. It is 5:54 a.m. and today I'm at Newport Beach. Air temperature is 61 degrees. Water temperature is at 67 degrees. So today I'll be targeting rockfish. So I do want to head a little bit outside of the harbor here to make some bait. Ooh, three more. Came off. Spanish, one Pacific. Ah! There goes the Spanish. Well, I'm here at my first waypoint, 190 feet of water. I'm using a shrimp on one hook and squid on the other. So I'm just gonna let it drop straight down. It's not too much of a drift right now, so I'm just gonna let it drop to the bottom. Not nearly as deep as Redondo, so that's kind of nice. See what we have here. Oh, nice little red. And he went for the squid. Hope you like the squid. He's got barotrauma, so I'm gonna have to use a Shelton device. Down you go. Man, it is getting chilly out here. Good thing I brought my jacket. Pacific mackerel now, and look at this dude. He is lively. He's been sitting in my bait tank for hours now, but it's a good sized one too. He might be a little too big, but you never know. This big guy. It's looking good on the bottom. Seeing a lot of activity in about 170 feet of water. Yeah, this is a good spot. Bait. Gonna have to use the Shelton device, send him down. Oh no! Oh yeah, he's got barotrauma. Dang it. Okay, big boat just went by me here. It has created a massive wake. why you want to face perpendicular into these wakes, because if this were to hit me broadside, ooh, I could see myself capsizing. So yeah, always be aware, pay attention to your surroundings. That was a massive one. Look at that. I got sand dab bait. Okay. Let me just use you as live bait, baby. Alright, since it's really slowed down, let me show you what I did with those scupper plugs the other day. So as I'd mentioned, since I've been fishing Redondo a lot, and at that particular spot I catch a lot of Spanish mackerel, which tend to be smaller than the Pacific mackerel that I catch out here at Dana Point. I had a problem with the live bait flopping around on my deck after I released them from my sabiki, and they slip right through the scupper plugs, or scupper holes. They go right through. So I did a little research, and I looked for the self-draining scupper plugs that Old Town makes, and they were going for like 69 bucks for a pair. So for 2 plugs, you'd have to pay like 70 bucks. So I went on YouTube and I found a lot of different videos on how to create your own scupper plugs, and the most popular way was this: using these practice golf balls. They're made out of foam. You drill a hole through the center, and then a lot of guys were using paracord. They'd feed it through the hole and create their own scupper plug. What I found, at least for my needs, these nylon ropes are a lot thinner than paracord, and they're easier to feed through the hole once you drill or put a hole through the foam balls. A lot easier. I was trying to feed the paracord through there. Even the thinnest one I could find was like 1/8 of an inch. They were still really thick and difficult to feed through. This nylon rope I purchased at the 99-cent store. These foam practice golf balls, I got a dozen for $7.99. So I ended up making like 8 of these scupper plugs for under 10 bucks, and they work great. So as you can see here, there's my scupper hole. The bait would flop around and they'd just slip right through there. But now with these homemade plugs, look at that. This morning I lost no bait through these scupper holes. I had them all plugged up. Now the only drawback is when you're cutting bait, as I mentioned, like this guy here, when you're cutting bait on deck, it gets all bloody and the guts have nowhere to go. So what I do is I'll just open up my pedal drive. You can see I could just rinse out all the blood and guts that way. I know it's a pain, but if you don't want a really bloody deck, this is a quick way to clean it. Of course, yeah, you'll get some water on your deck, but that's not a big deal. You're not going to sink. I'm not reinventing the wheel. A lot of kayak fishermen use this method. It's very popular and it works well. But the only difference in the ones that I make is I don't use paracord. I just use this nylon rope. And the cool thing is, look, I took a lighter to the end. I could melt it, so then that knot will never come undone. That's pretty secure, and they do the job just fine. So now look, I could just plug up that hole. All right, so there you have it. Tip of the day: homemade scupper plugs. Again, you just go on YouTube and just type in the keyword homemade scupper plugs or DIY scupper plugs, and you'll see a ton of videos on how to do it yourself. But barotrauma, nice. Go right back in. bait. Alright, the sun's out. Now it's starting to burn up. So I covered over 9 miles of water today, and part of that was because conditions weren't too bad. The wind wasn't very strong and the swells were fairly flat. Well, thanks again for watching, and please do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up.